Go, go, Chundria, Chundria, it's Chundria Show.
Get to know Mariah Bozeman. She's an actress, model, and dancer. She and I discuss her inspiration for performing and her upcoming role in Netflix's mystery drama, The Woman in the Window. Mariah Bozeman, welcome to the Chundria Show. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great, thank you. Now, I read that you're an actress, model, dancer, fitness instructor. How old are you, may I ask?
I am 13 years old.
Wow, congratulations for all of your achievements in 13 short years. You've appeared in national commercials, print ads, you've co-starred on NBC's show, Chicago Med. When did you know you wanted to be a performer?
So when I was younger, around the age of 3 or 4, my cousin, he was in film, or he had a film major in college, and he would film me for some of the assignments and projects that he had to do. And at the time, I wasn't really loving it because I was 3 and wanted to watch cartoons. So I was really just like, Marcus, can we watch cartoons yet? But then as I got older, I started, when I was around the age of 7 or 8, I did a Girl Scout commercial. And then I realized that I really did love acting, and it was something that I missed doing. And seeing other people do it, I realized that this is what I wanted to do. So at the age of 9, I got signed to my agency, Stewart, and I've been acting ever since.
Wow, congratulations. You've had quite the journey. I looked you up online. I watched some of your YouTube videos. I'm following you on Instagram on my T Brownlow media page. And you're such a commendable, I'm excited to meet you today. Tell me about your journey. What have you learned, and what do you look forward to as a performer?
I've learned so much as a performer. So between acting and cheer, I've learned that it's really something that it takes commitment. And some days you're not going to feel like doing it, but you have to push through, because in the end it's always worth it. And I've really learned that I can connect to almost everything and everyone that I do in some way, but I really want to learn just more about the business. So I know a lot of it already, but I know there's definitely things that I don't know yet, and I'm just so excited to learn those things.
Do you have any plans to create your own projects? Have you written anything for yourself?
I do not yet. I do take acting classes with my acting coach, Josie Harris-Thacker, and she encourages us to write our own monologue sometimes, and I believe that one of these days I will write my own monologue on something that I've experienced in life.
I believe you will too. I can't wait to see it. So, how excited are you about your film debut in the new Netflix thriller called The Woman in the Mirror?
Window.
The Woman in the Window. Like, that's a whole different movie.
I'm very excited. It's my first film that has ever come out, and really it got pushed back about 3 times. So it was going to be one of the last 20th Century Fox films, and then it got sold to Disney, and it got reworked a little bit. So I had to go in to do a couple of voiceovers and other things. And now it has been sold to Netflix, which I think is a great opportunity, because during quarantine, everybody's on Netflix, and I think it will really get out there, and I'm so excited.
Where was the movie filmed?
It was filmed in New York. So I went to New York for 3 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 week at a time. And so just filmed there. And I did film a voiceover in Chicago, but other than that, it was in New York.
Okay. Oh, that's gotta be exciting. And then what's the premiere date for the movie?
It should be coming out on Netflix on May 14th.
Okay, so that's coming up very soon. Very, very soon.
Yes.
Okay, so without any spoilers, what is the movie about? And who do you play?
So I play Olivia Fox, and I play Amy Adams and Anthony Mackie's daughter. And the movie is a thriller about Amy Adams, who has agoraphobia, the fear of going outside, and she believes she sees a murder next door. So she has new people moving in next door, and she believes she sees a murder, but nobody believes her because she has agoraphobia and takes so many medications.
And then you play her daughter?
Yes. So I won't reveal too much because if I do,
Okay. Okay. So how was it working on set with the cast and crew? I mean, it has to be exciting to work with Anthony Mackie.
yeah, it was great. It was a dream. They treated me like I was literally on their level. There was no difference between us, and I believe they were just so nice about everything. It just felt very natural, and everybody connected very well.
Right where you belong, girlie. Now, you also filmed a Chicago-based web series called Shenanigans, and I'm from Chicago too, so I'm really looking forward to this. What is the web series about, and what character do you play in that project?
So I play Marie Foster, and my brother, I'm sorry, I just messed that up. I play Marie, and my brother Foster, I'm really trying.
That's okay.
I play Marie, and my brother Foster and we're twins, and the web series is basically just about our adventures as two kids who love to do stuff and get in trouble. And it is one that has an ASL option because the writer and director Jill Ross, one of her relatives, I cannot remember which one at the moment, was deaf, and she wanted an option to make sure that people who have impaired hearing could also enjoy the show.
Oh, I love that. And then that expands the reach of the project as well. And that's a Chicago-based project, right?
Yes.
Well, I'm excited about everything that you are doing. You keep up the amazing work. You're such a great performer. You're so articulate. And I know you're going to continue to do great things in your field and in the entertainment industry and beyond. And you start writing. I think you could come up with something phenomenal. I want to thank you, Mariah, for being my special guest on the Chundria Show. Get to know Nicole Patterson. She's a dynamic athletic trainer and the fabulous founder and CEO of Main Temptation, a thriving hair care brand with amazing products for women and men. Nicole Patterson, welcome to the Chundria Show. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Fantastic. So let's dive right on in, my dear. As an athletic trainer, how do you personally help people become the best versions of themselves?
So working in the sports medicine industry is definitely a challenge. You deal with usually I deal with a lot of injuries. So when someone gets injured, the mindsets and things like that. So just reminding them that, an injury doesn't define you, that, just because you come to a setback, that's not the end of the road. This is the beginning of a new road. And so just reminding them, we still have to push hard. We still have to do those things that we did before while we were playing sports, so that we can get back to that level of play. So I would say that that's how I help people become the best versions of themselves. Just reminding them that, we're not defined by what we were, but what we're becoming. So it's about this moment and only this moment at this time.
You said mindset. Mindset is so important because it can literally drive us to our next goal, or it can hinder us from even getting there. And I know sports is, a mind-focused game, You got to get your head in the game. And so did you play sports growing up yourself, or?
I did. So in high school, I did track. I ran the 400, 4x4, and the 800. So I ran a mile in total. And then I also played basketball. And I actually hurt myself playing basketball, probably outside of basketball, but I hurt my knees. And was in that training room, the athletic training room with my athletic trainer. And it was kind of like something where I would have to get surgery if I wanted to continue playing, and it wasn't really that important to me. So I was like, well, I'll just stay in here. I really like the athletic training room. And so that's kind of how I was introduced to the sports medicine side of athletics. Just, getting people healthy and seeing what she did on a daily basis kind of inspired me to want to help people in that way too.
Wow, I love that story. Wow. So who or what inspired and cultivated your interest in sports while you were in high school? Who started that bug for you?
I'm not sure. I was always a pretty active kid. My dad, we always went on vacations and did went to the beach and did all kind of stuff. I also later found out in life, my father, my biological father, was a professional athlete. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it was jeans. People say, you know, sports is in your genes. So it's just something that I really like to do. It kept me active. I was naturally good at running, but I hated track. So I picked another sport so that, you know, I don't know. I think people who just run are a little weird, but if you have something else to do, you know, track makes every other sport better. So I liked playing basketball, and track kind of helped me with that, and I was good at it. So that's kind of, you know, what cultivated my interest, just being good, wanting to win, you know?
Where you're good at a lot of things, including entrepreneurship. So let's talk about you being the founder of Main Temptation, which is an all-natural, chemical-free hair care brand that creates products that promote optimal hair health for all hair textures. I love that you wrote that. What inspired you to create the brand?
So in college, you know, I wanted to be able to take care of my hair. So in high school, you know, in middle school, your mom pays for you to go, you know, to the beauty shop. I always got it pressed or styled or braided, but it was kind of something that I never had to do on my own. So throughout college, just going through that journey of how do I take care of my hair? Now I'm not able to pay to get it, you know, pressed every week. So I have to figure out how to take care of this thing, right? So that was the number one thing that inspired me. And then towards my junior year of college, I was actually diagnosed with Graves' disease, which is an autoimmune disease. And it kind of made me take health very seriously. So I began to figure out how to tie, you know, my want for making my hair healthier and my need for, you know, increasing my body health or changing, you know, my health regarding my body, and created products that did both of those things.
So present day, I mean, and I think that's awesome because, you know, transparently, you went through things, you know, where, you know, hair care was the focus, but then in a really selfless act, you have made it your mission to help other people who are in similar experiences or to avoid similar experiences. So what solution will you say you bring to consumers in the marketplace?
So the solution that I seek to bring, or that my business is bringing to consumers in the marketplace, is giving a solution for hair health that does not impact the body's health or the endocrine system. So we provide healthy hair solutions for, you know, everyday people who are wanting to stay free of endocrine disrupting chemicals and other, you know, chemicals that can impact our body's health.
You know, one thing I hear is we have to start reading these labels, you know, on these products, and everything that's on the front is not always aligned with what's on the back. Like,
yes.
So that's what I pull from that is taking better care of your hair is reading labels front and back. How did you come up with your business name? I love it, Main Temptation. Tell me about that story.
So there's no like magical story behind it. I created a few different names. I think one had to do with like my name, Nicole something. Then I was like, okay, what's hair? Another word for hair was Main, and Temptation. So that one, and then I think there was one other one, and I just let my friends choose, and they really liked Main Temptation. And so the reason I came up with that, or why it was one of the choices, was because, you know, Mane is another name for the hair, so M-A-N-E for those who don't know. And then Temptation is a strong desire. So I wanted like my products, I was selling hair at the time as well. So I wanted it to be something, you know, like your hair is something that we desire to look good, you know? So it ties into not only are you using extensions, and this is something, you know, that helps you look nice, but also the hair care side of it. These are products that your hair desires. Like your hair needs these things to sustain its health. So just kind of tying in both aspects of my business.
I mean, you are on fire, girl. I think that's phenomenal, especially if you understand all sides of it. You went from selling hair, now you're helping people to be able to take better care of their hair. So I'm loving that. What are some of your favorite products of yours?
So some of my favorite products are the moisturizer. It's called First Work. It is a all-natural moisturizer. I absolutely love it. I have to use it today. I planned on washing my hair.
I made this.
Yeah, I wanted to wash my hair and look really nice, but I wasn't feeling it. So this morning I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do a nice little bun. So I slicked that moisturizer on, definitely a go-to, and my gel. So whenever I want to do like a nice slick bun or like something really quick and my hair is not detangled, definitely my top two go-tos. Another favorite, not of mine, but of everyone else's. I'm not good at using things every day, but a lot of people are. They love the oil. So I came out with the oil that a lot of people love to use every day.
Okay. So you're getting great feedback for your products. People are using it. It's working for people. People's hair is moisturized. It's working out well. You know, how does that feel knowing like you've not only have you created something to help better people and their healthy hair care, but you're also changing people's relationships with their hair, you know, which may not always be positive. So how does that feel knowing that you're doing that?
It feels great. It actually shocks me like every time that I get good feedback, even though like my feedback of the product is good, it's always like, I don't know, it's so amazing to hear like other people's experience with it. Like, wow, it does that for you too. Like, because everyone's different. So, you know, everyone's experience is going to be different. So when I hear, you know, that other people are loving it or other people have had like a similar experience to me, like, oh, it did this for me. And I'm like, wow, like, it's just really, it's confirmation to it. It makes me want to keep doing it, you know?
Very good.
Especially on the hard days.
That's awesome. Let's talk about mindset. You brought this up earlier. What mindset do you bring from athleticism into your life as an entrepreneur?
Yes, so the mindset that I carry from the athletics world into entrepreneurship is remembering that, you know, every day is a new day, and just to stay focused on the now, you know, so not so much what did I do before, because people are always chasing like trying to beat yesterday, but today is a new day. You beat that, you know, so being better today than I was yesterday, and not worrying about tomorrow. So like if today wasn't good, you know, there's gonna be a tomorrow, but when I get there, that's when I'm gonna focus on that. So just doing that, and then being able to, trying to think of the word, conform or adapt to different changes. So in athletics, schedules change all the time, games switch, things are moved around, and you just kind of have to go with the flow. So that's something that I'm also very good at in business or as entrepreneurship. There are a lot of roadblocks that may come up or different things that may come in the way, and I have to adapt to that and be able to, you know, make a new plan, change it up. So being able to adapt to change is also definitely a mindset that I'm able to carry.
I'm so glad you have the flexibility to be able to move from one thing, like, okay, that's fine, that's a change, that's something I didn't expect, and you keep it moving, and that's actually really inspirational, to say the least. What word of encouragement can you offer women to help them love their hair and practice self-love?
The best word of encouragement that I can offer any woman looking to love their hair and practice self-love is to just do it. You know, there are times we wake up and we're like, oh, I want to look like this. And then we look at it and we're like, they might not like that. Who cares? Just do it. If you like it, do it. If you love it, do it. If you want to wear your fro, wear your fro. You know, just love you. And honestly, just remembering that as long as you feel beautiful, no one else can validate that. It doesn't matter what someone else thinks. It matters how you feel about it. And just knowing that you are you, and that's the only thing that you can be.
Absolutely beautiful words. I couldn't agree more. Nicole Patterson, I want to thank you so much for being my special guest on the Chundria Show. For anyone interested in learning more about me, get to know Thom Washington. He's an amazing gospel artist, and he and I discuss his triumph over stage 4 colon cancer and his new single, Breathe. Thom Washington, welcome to the Chundria Show. How are you today?
I am amazing today. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much. Let's dive on in and talk about you.
Okay, cool.
You were once diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer, and now you are cancer-free in remission.
Hallelujah.
How did you remain encouraged through such a challenging time in your life?
You know, that is a great question. I love the word encouraged, because it's kind of a twofold thing. You know, it's like your personal journey, like when you're in the hospital and it's nighttime and you're by yourself, everybody's gone, and you got to deal with your mind, right? And that is where my relationship with God was just sacrosanct, you know. I'm a PK, pastor's kid, and, you know, all those Sunday schools, and then all the teaching that I do with my congregation, because I am also a pastor now in Long Beach, California. And all of that stuff that you learn comes back to you. You hear those scriptures and you actually got to walk it out, right? And so that kept me encouraged on the personal side. And then being encouraged by my tribe, you know, my family and the people that surround me, friends and church members, being able to like lift me up, you know. during those times and surround me with love, surround me with faith and encouragement. So that is how I got through this thing. You know, I can say that my family, my tribe, and the God that I serve.
Wow, I mean, to go through something like that, I mean, it sounds like an incredible test of faith that you passed.
Yeah, that is a test of faith. I'm telling you.
That you passed. But how has this experience changed your outlook on life?
Oh,
You have a newfound perspective.
You know, when people, oh my God, I'm glad you asked that question,
You see
because
life
I just
in bright
want.
colors, don't you? Like bright.
Yes.
Oh, look at this beautiful flower. Oh, we got a parking space in the front today.
Yes, and you know, even something as simple as I was hospitalized for like a month, you know, where I couldn't go out, and when I got out, just feeling the breeze on my face, it just made me cry, because I was like, these things that we take for granted, right? Hearing the trees rustle and you know, just the little things in life. And so when people tell you that life is short, because you think that you're doing things, you think you got time. And then during this journey, it was like, I'm not done yet, God, I'm not done yet. And so I'm so thankful for every day that I have on this earth. Every moment, I do not take it for granted anymore. So that has how it's changed my life significantly.
It's the present because it's a gift. Absolutely.
It's a gift. It's a gift.
So tell me about the inspirational musical release of your debut single, Breathe. Did you write the song while you had cancer, or was this after your remission?
That is an interesting question too, because it happened, the breathe part, when I found, basically one day I was fine and the next day everything collapsed. It was stage 4 cancer diagnosis. And the day that I collapsed in a store, that's how I found out about my, diagnosis, right? And the EMTs came, because my body had just shut down. And the EMTs came and they said, breathe, Mr. Washington, breathe, because I was hyperventilating. And that stuck with me, because it was like, stay with us. You know, I didn't know what was happening at the time. And so I carried that through when I got the diagnosis. I carried that through when I was convalescing. And then when I was transitioning back into life, breathe. Just take a moment. Just don't let all the stress and stuff consume you. And so that's how Breathe was written. It was written just kind of like all the way through from when I first found out to the end. And then the words just kind of started pouring in. And I journalized too, this whole experience. So that's kind of like where it came from.
It's a feel-good, upbeat song.
Yeah.
Saw your music video. You shot right there in sunny SoCal.
Yes.
Tell me about some of the amazing people who contributed to this project. I saw Adam Omar Holly, who is a Billboard charting jazz musician and producer, and I'm sure there are others. You know, who helped bring this project to life?
Oh my goodness. I can say that this project came together divinely. No drama and no trauma. You know how things just work out, right? You know, because a lot of times in the music business, you're chasing this person, you're trying to get in touch with this person, trying to work it out. But divinely, we all just like, I will mention Devin Brunel and Nico Brunel, just really great personal friends of mine who did worship with me here in California. They now live in Vegas. They knew what had happened to me. So they were with me through the whole thing, and they just kept saying, like, you need to like put this to music, right? And as we begin to like formulate and I begin to write and bounce things off of her, Adam contacted me, you know, and we also did praise and worship together. And he was like, let me hear what you got going on. And so I let him listen to it. He said, I got to be a part of this project. And so he did the music. Devin did the background vocals. I did the writing of the songs and the vocals, and we did this all remotely because of COVID, right?
Right.
And so everything just fell together perfectly.
Well,
that's why I knew it was.
Who was the engineer that pulled everybody's parts together? Who did that?
The sound engineer? Eric Rikers from the Echo Bar Studios in North Hollywood. And I had done a project with him 8 years ago. And I just felt comfortable in that space, in that booth A, you know, where you sing and you create. And I was like, I had to be part of it. And it was so thankful that he was able, the COVID kind of guidelines lifted a bit. And I was able to go into the studio and he put these things together. Devin emailed her background vocals. Adam did his music and emailed it in. Isn't that crazy?
That's great.
And we just brought it together. So I'm thankful.
In the good way, in the best way.
Yeah, in the best way.
Now, you led the award-winning choir Cathedral Joy, who have won the Verizon How Sweet the Sound title of Best Small Choir in Southern California. Woo woo.
Mm-hmm. Woo!
What inspired your early interest in music? Was it just being a preacher's kid singing in church?
My mom. My mom, and she's no longer here with us. She passed away in 2009 from Alzheimer's. But my mom, she was the one. She loved music. She wanted to learn piano, and when she got a piano into the house, I was 5 years old. I was playing it. People would say I would play better than she did. So we can only afford music lessons for one of us, and so she gave up her music lessons to give them to me, and I cherish that. And so that's how my early interest in music just came about. And so being a PK in church, when the music director got fired when I was 15 years old, my dad was like, "You do it." And I was like, "What? You know, these people are not going to listen to me. I'm 15 years old." But, you know, when God gifts you, people notice. And the adults that were in the room really were so supportive of me, like playing and teaching the choir. So, and doesn't everybody love a choir? That is where I started, you know, and that togetherness. And so if somebody asked me today to sing tenor in a choir, I'd be right there. That's where I learned all the parts. And I just love, it was about the message. And so we weren't trying to compete in things. But when people would hear us sing in different places, they were like, "You got to do this." So we did McDonald's Gospel Fest, Verizon How Sweet the Sound. So I just loved it. I immersed myself in gospel choir, especially. I love it.
Sounds like some amazing memories that you still hold and cherish. And I think that's phenomenal, especially on your journey in music with your single. What word of encouragement do you have for anyone out there watching who is experiencing adversity or hardship in life?
Fight.
And breathe.
Fight to survive and breathe. I'm telling you, you know, a lot of us, we really don't know the fight that we have in us and the courage and the bravery we have in us until we're challenged, right? And all my life, I had never really been challenged in that way. But when, you know, a doctor tells you your cancer has metastasized, it's stage 4, there's nothing we can do. Then something raises up inside of you. I know in me, it was like, no, I'm not done yet. You know, I want to survive. I got to be here for my wife. I got to be here for my daughter. I haven't finished my, you know, with church, my calling, you know, my assignments. I knew I wasn't done. And so I tell anybody that's facing adversity, you got to dig in and you got to fight. Don't give up.